Hey everyone, it's Throbby from Large Lads. This is the second devlog of the series for Winterreach Emporium. Please make sure you wishlist it if you're enjoying this content or if the game looks good to you. It's a cozy management game where you're managing a ski shop in a fantasy world. So it's a pretty neat little hook and we're having a lot of fun making it. We'll be having a demo on Next Fest. And hopefully a trailer soon. So what I'm doing here is, in the last video I worked on a spline, and I'm still working on splines now. And the splines are kind of a nice little way to basically have the kind of actors move in a way where you want them to move, and we're kind of using it for like the ambient background stuff. I'm one of our less skilled coders on the team, so I'm kind of tackling the splines because they're kind of easy to use. I don't want to say easy, but they're not super hard. So I did the splines already, made a video with the chairlift. But now we're doing the skiers going down the mountain. So I'm kind of just working it out here just to get the speeds right and make sure the spline really works. So the tough thing with the spline that you like run into is that the spline will like intersect with the ground. Not that this is like an Unreal tutorial, but you can just drop the N key and it puts it right on the ground, but then the spline in between your spline points will actually intersect in the ground. And sometimes it actually looks okay because it's kind of like fresh powder, and it kind of looks like he's sinking in the powder or the snow. But other times it kind of just, I don't know, it looks like he is clipping through the ground. So you kind of have to make that determination in the moment. Obviously here I'm just running through this spline like 20 different times. We're clearing out a new little spot. The lodge that we have is like a test lodge, and it's not in the permanent spot. But we're gonna move the test lodge closer to the mountain, and I'm gonna have skiers skiing past it, and skiers you can see out in the distance. But yeah, so this is kind of me just getting a little zone ready. And here's the next day. Here's all my little characters. We'll do like a little character spotlight. Yeah, I'm actually going to drop on the screen because I do think I really like the models, but we're going to drop some of the character models on the screen. First we have our goblins, and then you'll see our gutterlings, and then our high ridge elves right behind them, and then we also have our Gorvash. And our 3D artist Aaron is working on our human race right now. Yeah, so these are the characters. We're really loving the way they're looked, and we're gonna keep pumping out characters because we're kind of getting like base models and then just giving them alterations to make a bunch of different little models here. We'll try to get some Blender footage for you here. I don't know, on one of the next devlogs. I already talked to him about making a devlog with Blender because I think it's fun to see. But jumping back, we're making a Niagara effect for the snow spray. And the snow spray is just basically going to be the, what the skiers and snowboarders kind of kick up. And doing this with like a fountain system is actually not that hard. Once you kind of know how to do like this really simple fountain spray effect, it's pretty easy to tweak and kind of get like a couple different things that you like. Obviously this can be like way more complex if you're using like different systems, but this is how I made like the actual like the weather snow. Also the fireplace is kind of using the same effect. And then I'm just plugging it in here on the actual skier himself, which I don't have a skier or snowboard model yet, but I'm kind of just setting up the actor to make sure everything's right and make sure it looks good. We'll tweak it later, but for the time being, it kind of has the effect that I wanted to have, so. It's kind of simple. It's pretty easy. And it just adds like a nice little effect to him. I like the way it looks. Yeah, what's next? Kind of just doing some 360s. I'm actually on a call here in this moment, showing stuff around, so you can kind of see the whole little map that we've made here. And this is me just making some more splines, make some more skiers. So, and all you're doing is really just dragging the spline points and then hitting the N button just to put him on the ground. And occasionally lift him up and push him further back so he's not clipping into the ground too much. And kind of with this system, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to be tedious to do all these, and then one of the functions that I'm working on at the end is obviously the skiers should only be skiing during the actual open hours. So I tried and failed at the end of this to kind of get that to work, but it's going to actually be a little bit more intensive than I thought. I kind of thought it was going to take me like 2 minutes to change, but it's definitely going to be more than a 2-minute change. But it's really easy. You just got to keep slinking the spline around. When it's on the ground, it's actually easier than the chairlifts, because the chairlifts, it's like putting it in like a 3D plane, where this is kind of still a 3D plane, but I can just keep dropping it to the ground, where when it's kind of floating into the ski lift, it's way more difficult. So I'm kind of actually not minding doing it this way right now. Also, just to drop in here, we actually made a Discord where we're going to be dropping a lot of updates for the game and stuff like that. Even some resources and materials that we use. Anytime like I watch a tutorial or anything like that. I mean, I've said before, but we have 5 coders on the team, 5 programmers, and I'm one of them, and we have another one who's not a very seasoned coder. And then we have 3 really seasoned coders. So I watch a lot of tutorials to try to figure this stuff out. So yeah, we basically will drop any tutorials that we use on here. And I've said before, there's not really a lot of resources for management games for Unreal. And I'll try to give a little bit of insight in our systems and kind of how we made them. Most tutorials that you see are going to be like shooters or RPGs, but you just really never see some management. Or even simulator stuff, really. This is me trying and failing. We're going to kind of just pretend like this doesn't happen, and I'm not just calling this every time the event ticks, which is a fatal flaw, which I figure out really shortly. But along with that, we also have our Patreon, which we kind of update our lore on. And it's mainly just a way to support us if you do want to support us, but we'll drop lore tidbits on there. We're going to start doing lore on the YouTube channel too, but maybe like the creation of the lore and the behind the scenes is definitely going to be on there, and how we come up with the lore is going to be on the Patreon. Yeah, so check that out if you're interested. Yeah, at this point I'm still figuring out everything that I'm doing wrong. Oh, and then with Next Fest coming up, Next Fest is on October 13th. We're doing a demo on Next Fest. We might even have a demo up earlier. We're sending out keys to content creators, so be sure to check out for any content creators who check out our game, because we're going to give them a super pre-alpha. I mean, it's like the demo to the demo. We're going to give that out to some content creators when we make our trailer. So hopefully they can showcase that in a positive light, because it is going to be very rough compared to the end product, and even rough compared to the demo. And the best way to support us, really, honestly, is to wishlist the game. Our goal is to hit 2,000 wishlists before Next Fest, which Next Fest is on the 13th, so we do need all the help we can get, but regardless, even just watching these videos, we appreciate it. And that's really it. Really all we touched on was the spline system for the skiers. It's really simple. It's kind of just what I did today. I just wanted to give you a little bit more insight on kind of what's behind the scenes before we actually do a big merge and add a bunch more to the project. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon if you want to support us. And the best support you can do is actually just to wishlist Winterreach Emporium. It's on Steam now. Depending on when you're watching it, probably still doesn't have a trailer, but it will soon. Thanks, guys.